was a dream. I got to the train station, and for the first time in my life, I was literally looking at instructions, and nothing happened in my brain. Like literally nothing. You know how they tell you that, oh, don't worry, once you go to Tokyo, everything, even though like there's Japanese like signs, you'd see English under it. I don't know why I said it. Hello everyone, Faith here, and welcome to my scene vlog. So today is Sunday, the 16th of February 2025, and it is evening here in Japan, and I've only been back from church just maybe a little under a few hours. That's a very broad time frame. But yeah, I have been 2 weeks in Japan, so I'm officially a resident. Not that I wasn't a resident on the first day, but I think at this point I am getting used to things a bit. And my stay in Japan has been a bit of a roller coaster. Not because it's been bad. You know, roller coasters are very interesting because you can either have a bad experience or a wild experience where you're shocked at every turn, but you're like really enjoying every moment. So the latter is what I'm on about. Like, it's been a wild experience. That's what it is. Whilst this is not the first time that I've moved to like a whole different country, this is the first time in my life that I've moved to a place where people speak a little to no English, and a lot of things are not written in language or characters or letters that I fully understand. This is the way it's been working for me. When I see katakana, I'm most likely to understand it. When I see hiragana, I can read it, but I might not understand what it's saying. I might not. When I see kanji, 9 out of 10 times I don't know what it's saying. So these are like the three major characters for Japanese writing, and I'm just like, you know what? I'll just be vibing. I have eaten. I've eaten the most ridiculous things just because. Oh, not really ridiculous because I still like go by the pictures, but yeah, it's been quite interesting. Anyways, I'm just here to speak about my experiences so far. I'd like to say so far so good. It has been good. This move to Japan has been quite unique because well, I was told by God to move, and this is like the first time that it wasn't me. Like normally I'd just be like, maybe I want to go here, and I'm just like, oh God, that's you and stuff, and I'm like, oh yeah, God, if you're saying it, oh God will like speak through like several people, but I'm like interested in the idea. This time around, it was more of God told me, like it's always been in my destiny. I actually wanted to move to Japan like in 2015, 16, and God kept saying no, 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 no. So this is like what, 10 years later, and well, 2024, so it was like 9 years later, and God was like, oh yeah, it's time to move to Japan. But at this time when God said it's time to move to Japan, I was in such a good place in the UK. I had a great job, and I was like, my family, friends, everybody was there, and that was my life. Like, like, so it was very difficult for me to be like, I just want to up and leave like my life as it is. There were other like benefits I had to like sacrifice as well, but let's not go into that. But one thing about me is when God says something, I can't really see anything else. It's more of He said this, and nothing else mattered. As bad as it seemed, like I was like sacrificing a lot, I could not see myself living in the UK past January. And God told me this in June. He confirmed it, so like I have no doubt that God said it, and He put it in my heart. And I had so many questions to ask Him, but I obeyed, and He made it so easy for me. I mean, He literally told me in June. Imagine having like what 6-7 months, literally 6 months, to like just move your entire life to like a whole new country where you have nobody. But that's one thing about God, He does like crazy things. Anyways, I've spent 5 minutes rambling, so I'm going to like go into like the things that I experienced. I'll keep saying more about like what God like did so far so good, or maybe my experience of how He led me here. But let's talk about like my crazy experiences in Japan. I'll just tell you like a few things, but I'll try to like summarize it so this video doesn't go on for too long. The first thing I noticed on arriving in Japan was the tech. Okay, I know some people will be like, bro, that's what Japan is known for, blah 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 blah. Well, I will tell you, I was misinformed. Bear in mind, I was coming from Manchester, so we had good tech. It is a cashless society. Like, whilst in the UK, I hardly had cash. I hardly saw cash. I only got cash when I wanted to feel like I was giving the offering. You know, you put the notes in the offering envelope. It was weird, like the only few times I got cash. But like, cashless society, every time tap 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 my card. So I watched the video when someone was like, oh, Japan, you need cash, da 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 da, and the person was like on about like documents and everything and how Japan is like archaic. So perhaps I misunderstood the person, or I was just like, the person just did not know what they were saying. Well, the first thing that hit me when I arrived this country was like the level of technology. I mean, thank God that I'm not like, you know, I'm not living in the, I don't know, you know, the old people's kind of life. So I'm quite tech savvy, so I can like figure out things for myself. So it was just like easy for me to like, it's really cool. This is like great for me because I'm a tech person, a bit, not really, but a bit. I think I can find my way around. But the level of tech is just beautiful. Like, they are so advanced, and that was impressive to me because it was a good surprise. And don't listen to people when they're like, oh, it's just alright. I was misinformed, so that's why it was a good surprise for me. They have like an advanced level of tech, which can be a plus or a minus, because when you see like their characters, oh my gosh. Stress. As if you don't like, once you see something, you don't know how to operate it. Ooh. Even like where I'm at now, they had to like leave English posters for you to understand like the washer and the dryer and the rice cooker and everything, literally, because everything is in like the Japanese characters. And so it's really, that's the only problem, that's the only like bad thing, is like really difficult to understand. Some of them will have images, so you'd be able to just like easily figure it out, but I'll have to say 100% tech, they're up there, and I give it to them. Well done. The next thing is my first like roller coaster experience was when I first arrived. Gosh. I kept saying like all the major adventures that I had in Japan was on my first day. You'd see from like my previous video. I was going through a lot, and I did say it. I'm like, guys, I'm like literally going through a lot. So I had to record that video when I was going through and like laughing about it. So that's like, you know, when you're in a roller coaster and it gets like really scary, even though you know you're safe to an extent, So you're like, oh, that was the moment. But then you're excited to go down, like, you know, up and down, whatever the roller coaster is doing. Oh yeah. So I don't know what I was thinking. I did get up early, but I was like trying to like sort all my bags. So what happened was when I arrived in Japan, normally I was supposed to arrive on Monday, but I chose to arrive like very early Sunday so I can go to church because I didn't want to be flying on Sunday. So I did that to myself. And because if I'd arrived on Monday, I'd have been picked up from the airport by my work and I'd have just like, you know, chilled. But I chose to arrive on Sunday, so early Sunday. So I booked like a hostel for 2 nights. One so I could come early and just like sleep and then have the second night, that's the Sunday night. So it was Saturday and Sunday night. But so when I arrived, everything went smoothly. The airport was great, everything was great. Boy, that night was great. I had a good sleep. Like that was the first time I had like I entered a 7-Eleven. We don't have a 7-Eleven in Nigeria or the UK, so nothing like that. So I was just like, oh, let me check it out. The first thing was I was also misinformed because we were told that if you have cash, just take the cash to a 7-Eleven ATM and like I had pounds. So what I had heard from like some YouTuber, blogger, Instagram, or whatever they are, just some influencer, is you go, you take your like pounds to any 7-Eleven, you slot it through like a machine and it gives you like yen, bro. There was nothing like that. I was just like, what in the world? Thankfully, my ATM worked, so that's my debit card. So it worked, and I just like withdrew like I took out about 10 pounds, so and it gave me like yen. So it was like 2,000 yen. So it was the equivalent of like 2,000 yen was just below 11 pounds. And I was like, oh yeah, just for the fun of it, I just wanted to like hold the yen. So I held the yen. I think I even got myself an onigiri, just because girls just arrived in Japan. She needs to like, you know, try out the stuff that she likes. Bro, I didn't know that it was just God saving me. Fast forward to the next morning. I woke up. So the church time was like 10 and 11:30. So I was like, okay, you know what, I might just go for the 11:30. Somehow the Holy Spirit was like a bit insistent that I woke up for like 8 because the church was like a bit far, only because I was still very close to Haneda Airport, which is like a little bit like on the outskirts of Tokyo. Not on the outskirts, but just like the suburbs, if I can call it that. It's just very far from like central Tokyo. So for me that was okay. So I was like, okay, I've got an hour. So when I felt like the Holy Spirit was like insisting that I should be up at 8, I got up. But I still like spent time like, you know, getting myself ready because I knew I had to like, you know, go for like my training like the next day. So I was just like chilled. So it was like about 10. I lost track of time, and then I was like, oh, okay, I need to run. So it was just like almost 10. So I was like, oh, I still have time, because I checked the timing, and when I looked at the map, it was like, yeah, if you do this and do that and do that, you get to the train station and you'd be all right. So the map said, and I got there. Oh my gosh. Girlie was in for a shock. I don't know why I thought that just the way, you know, you go to the UK, just tap your card. Nobody even does that. Oh yeah, because I used the tram. So I used the tram in Manchester, and basically you tap your card, like your credit card. This is one of the things that somebody told me, and he was absolutely wrong. I don't even remember who told me that. Like, oh, you can use credit cards, or maybe I saw it from a YouTube video. Don't listen to YouTube videos, guys. I know I'm a YouTube video result, but honestly, just don't trust it. Just be overly prepared. If you're visiting Japan, be overly prepared. So I thought I would just like, you know, tap and go through. Well, no. That was a dream. I got to the train station, and for the first time in my life, I was literally looking at instructions, and nothing happened in my brain. Like literally nothing. You know how they tell you that, oh, don't worry, once you go to Tokyo, everything, even though like there's Japanese like signs, you'd see English under it. I don't know why I said if. You'd see English under it. But bro, everything is a scam. Bro, there was English on there, but there were so many numbers. I still don't get it. I'm never looking at that map ever again in my life, because no, my brain does not need all of that stress. I looked at the map and there was nothing I could do. Look, the best thing to do is to get an IC card. Don't matter where you are, just get an IC card. As soon as you land here, get an IC card. If you're coming for like a holiday, just get like an IC card. Is like a card that like foreigners can use to like, you know, tap. So it's more like, it's like oh, what's that thing called in London? London has it too. I forgot what it's called. Something card as well, that you fill it in with like money. You fill it in with money and then you tap through it. I can't remember it now. I don't live there anymore. Well, I never lived in London, but like they have. Oh, now I'm gonna keep thinking of that. But they've got a card that you fill money, but that's the way like the IC card is. But I didn't know anything about that, so I was just getting a ticket. And first I went to like, because there are two, I don't know why there are two entrances in the station, but like when a station has like a million entrances, I don't even want to think about it. That's another like complicated, like why are there like 10 entrances for one train station? Like make it make sense. Anyways, I went to the wrong entrance at first, and then I went to another, like I saw like a janitor, whatever, he was the staff, and he took me to the next, like to the correct one. Now I'm trying to get a ticket because I'm trying not to miss the train, which is in like 2 minutes. And he's helping me, he's showing me, because I looked at that map and I'm like, I don't know what is going on. So he's not speaking English. I'm just like, I don't know what was wrong with me, but I wasn't like too willing to like use my Japanese, because I don't know, I'm not a shy person, but perhaps I was just too shy because I didn't want to like, you know, feel embarrassed to like say, sumimasen, konnichiwa, doko desu ka? Oh, so I was just like, could you please help me? I'm going to this and that. And the man was like, bro, I don't know what you're saying. Where you going? And I was like, I had to point and show him the map, and he showed me what it was on the map. I still don't know what he said, but he was like, you get this ticket, and he, you know, clicked it in for me. But guess what? The ticket machine did not accept my thingy. It didn't accept my credit card. And by then the guy was just like, he meet this other guy, and he went back to his duties. And the guy in the little stall close to the station was just not helpful. He was just like, oh, he probably was just like, oh, another foreigner, get your stuff yourself, and I don't care about you. So I was just like, oh. Obviously I missed the train I was gonna go on, and I was like, you know what, that's all right. Eventually the cash that I got the previous day was what I used, and then it was great. I got the ticket, and I was like, whew, ready to go on my way. One thing solved. Put the ticket through, went through. I got there, and I got to like, because there were two ways, and I was just like, where am I going? I actually don't know. They have the same name, but one is going, the other is coming, so I don't know which one it is. So I'm just like, where should I be? And I have no internet, so I had to like do my thingy. I had no internet because I had not got my SIM card yet. I was gonna get it like that day. My initial plan was to go to Haneda, get my SIM card, sort everything out before I like, you know, went on my way, so I could like, you know, do whatever. But somehow I lost track of time. This story is getting too long. I still have like so much to talk about, but I'm gonna try to like cut it short. I saw a dude. He didn't look Japanese, but he was Asian, so he could have been Japanese. But I was just like, because I didn't know where to be, and I was like, sorry, could you help me? He literally went like this. I was literally in front of him, and he went like this. Like he could hear me, but he just walked past me. I'm telling you for free, that has never happened to me in my life. I've never been ignored. Anyway, like, I've never been ignored in my life. Like, why are you ignoring me? I could not believe it. And he literally walked past me. You know what? Let's just assume that he just couldn't hear me. Let me tell myself that to make myself feel better. Anyways, I had to figure out. I was actually on the wrong platform, and I literally saw the second train leave. I went on the right platform and I got on that train. So what I did was, like, when I like clicked start, because at the hostel where I was, I'd already like clicked start, so Google Maps will just like move you to where you're supposed to be. So I clicked start and it did work. Maybe I'm gonna make this a two-part video because this is getting way too long and I'm just like, so I think I might make it a two-part video. Anyways, I was late, and you can see from like my previous video how I was like saying, oh, I'm so late and I'm so bummed that I'm late. It is what it is. I was late, but I made it with no internet. Ooh,